Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I am your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva, Mr. Easy, Imali, Enengi. And we're back at it again with another one. This time around, we go to Ivory Park in Gauteng, where we are celebrating the birthday of Julius Malema. Julius Malema is turning only 43 years old. Look at the impact that this man has made in his life. I always in a healthy competition way, look at what my peers are doing in their mid-30s and compare to what I'm doing, and then look at someone who has achieved things that I can only dream about, and then inspire to be like that person. So for me, it is only a pleasure to be alive at this stage and time, to be able to say happy birthday, Julius Malema, one of the most prolific politicians in Africa at large, a man that is celebrated throughout Africa. It is only just going to be a shame if we as South Africans celebrate this man truly when he dies. You know, I don't understand what is the wait for to name buildings after him, to name streets after him, to have a statue of him. I think also Judge John Hlophe must have a statue of him in the Western Cape. That man has served our people at the highest level with distinctions. John Hlophe must get a statue while he's still alive. EFF, if you see this video, you guys can make sure this happens. Let John Hlophe have a statue in the middle of Cape Town, celebrating the achievements of that man. The same goes to Julius Malema. Now, I want to play his speech at the Ivory Park Community Center, of which it has touched me. And because he mixed a little bit with Sepedi, I want to interpret some things before we go into that speech. So the interesting thing there, one of his I want to say fellow comrades, but he's not a member of the EFFs, he's not a politician, Leslie. Everybody knows Leslie. His father is the one that owns Jabulani Mall in Soweto. So he pledged 300,000 of school furniture to the community. Oh my God, to the community center of Ivory Park. I mean, 300,000 rand. Can you see that the EFF actually is the ANC that's stopping the EFF on building the school? These people are not in short of funds to build a school. 300,000 rand. Paseta will be up. 300,000 rand of furniture. We'll buy exclusive furniture for Paseta. I mean, what a blessing for Leslie to come there. You will also hear him on the speech. The EFF donated school uniform. They said what's her name? Umama Julia must write the names down and the sizes of the children, and they will buy school uniform for everyone, which is also very important. Not only that, the EFF said they want to put in 10,000 rand on the groceries every month. Listen, I have worked in a community shelter. I was the youth coordinator in a community shelter in number 5 called Tsosoloso Community Center. I worked there for 3 years. After I finished my diploma, could not get a job. So I had to, be in a community center and try. I was getting paid 1,500 rand every month. My goodness, I remember those times. I remember those hard times, how community centers suffer. And because we were a feeding scheme as a community center, There were two schools that were close to our shelter. Children were coming there after school to come and eat before they go home. That was their last meal. For some children, that was their last meal before they go home. So I understand what that 10,000 rand can do for those people. I was there, and I'm telling you, you have no idea just how much help that 10,000 rand is going to be. But not only that, EFF then doubles up. Julius Malema, he says they will give the community center, Julia, 100,000 rand in cash. Well, it's not going to be hard cash, but they're going to transfer 100,000 rand to them to use as they please. This is for the other extra costs that you can't even mention. Sometimes the leader of the community center is staying at a house where the door is not working or where the roof is leaking. The car of the community center is broken, or that car of the community center is a personal car of the leader of the community center. There's so many other things in the background that people don't see with community centers that makes the community work so much difficult for the volunteers. Because when you work at the community center, they don't call you a worker, they call you a volunteer. You volunteer there because it's not a job, you volunteer there. So that 100,000 rand is something that is going to go far for those people. Again, another thing I want to say is, guys, Sis Mpilo was in the house, there in the front line. The TG was there, beautiful as ever. Just the sideline bar on the side there. Julius Malema, in his speech, said something that the guy at the community center where I worked told me. This was in 2013. He said to me, go and be busy around people who are busy. And the way I started at the community center is that they told me straight up, listen, there is no budget. We cannot afford to take anyone on board. The team that we have, there were only, I think, 3 or 4 people there at community center. There was 2 cooks. Yeah, there was 2 cooks, 1 cleaner, and the community center manager and my friend Gabriel Moeng. May his soul rest in peace. And I was the 6th person to come in. But the way I went in there is I volunteered for free. I said, listen, because I'm sitting at home and it was far because I stay in town, the community center is in the location. I had to walk about 10 kilometers at other points to get to the community center and walk back home. And I just volunteered because I wanted to help people. And, for me, it was a beautiful thing to give a child a plate of food and see the smile on their face and knowing that this is their last meal for the day. They will eat again tomorrow at school at the feeding schemes of the school. So Julius Malema is right. Don't sit at home, but move around, move about. You see people who are moving around and be around them. By coincidence, by mistake, or by divine appointment, they might call your name and say, listen, can you pick up this box and take it there and do this, do that, and you are helping. The next thing you see yourself in that company. So it is true that what Julius Malema says. He says, if you are born poor, it is only your fault if you die poor. Something that I also strongly believe in. If you are born poor, it does not mean that you will die poor. It is because of the choices that you will make going forward that is going to determine your future. Aim high, aim extremely high. So without talking too much, I want to say from the bottom of my heart and from the entire African continent and from King Said So, from our African brothers around the world, we want to say happy birthday to Julius Malema. Coincidentally, this is also my birthday month, so only legends are born in this month. May he enjoy his day. May God keep the hand of grace upon his life, upon his health also. May God protect his families. May our ancestors keep on protecting his families and children, shielding them from any attack that is coming their way. So I thank the wife of Julius Malema, who is always, playing a role as a wife. You never hear anything about that queen. And we thank her for sharing Julius Malema with the rest of us. Literally, when you are a politician, you are literally never at home, especially a president of a political party. You are never at home. So the time that he took, instead of spending the birthday with his family, he decided he would spend the birthday with his with the community center. I mean, that alone shows us the heart of the man. So thank you so much for that. Let's listen quickly to his speech and we'll close it there. Until we meet next time, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, leave your thoughts on the comment section. Don't forget to pray, and after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.
Our chairperson who atswere modiro wa rena wa hore a tsamaishe morero, re leboge moruti, re leboge le mme Dineo, re leboge batswadi ba bana ba le bonkgono ka moka ba ba phelang mo Ivory Park Community Center. Re leboge our commissars who are here, Commissar Mateis, Commissar Mdeni Chwaku. Commissar Mdeni Chwaku is the MMC for safety in Johannesburg. So alela ka crime mo Ivory Park monno asanja berge ka crime shwemella ba bona. Ke Mdeni Chwaku ke na abereka nka taba ya community safety ya mo Johannesburg le MMC wona wa maphelo ke bona ba eleng gore ba santse ba bona gore ona le ditleliniki mo Ivory Park and di bereke 24/7 di be le di generator ke mmone mo a emelena ba mmone ba maphelo. And then ona le commissar Mateis. No, let me start with, because someone didn't introduce people. Our provincial secretary, Aswanjure, I introduce batho. Upela tswara ke se dididi se sengwa ke tsore. O tswara ke le lopo le lefe se. So I reintroduce yena ke provincial secretary Mushekoma. Then spetlele le mmone akere kwa mogae ke na le motseba ke modula setulo wa region ebile ke councilor ya EFF ka Johannesburg e ke suppose o tswere committee ya MPEC mo Johannesburg. So ke bona ba etapele ba rena ona le commissar Vuyani Pambo shwena o bereka ka presidency ya EFF. Ona le commissar Lien Mateis ke yena a berekang di election mo Gauteng on behalf of the EFF ke coordinator. Ona le commissar Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, the convener of elections in Gauteng. Ona le Nkululeko Dunga ke yena being chairperson mo aranange program ya rena ke chairperson ebile ke MMC ya finance ka mo Ikuruleni ka mo le kaema ba le bona. And then ke bone le speaker sa Ikuruleni sona mo abayeme ba ba bona le bona. Una le ke bona chairperson ya Ikuruleni le ena mo baba nganga se ba tsebe ka gore ke lena le sanjele ba tsebe. And then lena alia ba tsibisha, and Snao ona Snao Tambo is somewhere here. It's our spokesperson, and the people's advocate Dalimpo Fule now Namo the SC is our former national chair. So today I just want to thank the Ivory Park Community Center, Mama Dineo, in your prayers to Mama Julia, that a person who takes a conscious decision to feed the children of the needy and the poor will always have a special place in our hearts as the EFF. Because rena mamadi neo re batho ba ilongore re rata mo ba renge a gona ntwe ka tswang e tswile ka mo Ivory Park. Rena re ana mo ba renge we have written them off. There will never be anything beautiful that will come out of Ivory Park. Then we go there and make sure something beautiful comes out of the dusty streets of Ivory Park. And we are happy. Ore batho ba o tshwana le bo sepetlele ba itshwere ka bogaleng a ba kenyatše ba re eteletše pele gore re kgone gore Ivory Park le Alexander le Deep Sloot and everywhere else where the poor of the poorest are found. So leaders must always be next to the poor. Because why are you next to the rich? Because they don't want anything. You can only be next to those who are in need. Because those who are in need hope that one day a leader will come through and will be able to realize our future. Someone said yesterday, it's not about where you are born. It's not about how you grow up. That story is a story you are going to tell when you emerge victorious. How kipina udujiga bututlo ba re botjore le na beli jamatlame tloli jadintsiti yalo. Because that to you is no longer a painful thing. It was a necessary path that you went through and that made you who you are. So don't always complain about where you were born, how you were born, what you went through. If you were born poor and you die poor, that is your own problem. Because when you were born poor, you never gave birth to yourself. But what you become, it's your decision. And if you are going to become a poor person forever, you have no reason to blame your parents. You've got yourself to blame. You don't have to do anything. You just have to wake up every morning and go anywhere where people are busy. Yeah, jiga ona mo ba ba o feleja ba reno go tshwara le bokisi le o bie ka mola wa tshwara wa bia. From there, before they know it, you are an employee of that firm because o ke khafile wena. You can't say I'm a fighter. You are unemployed, you are loitering in the streets. You must be a fighter that wakes up every day. Achiedi lift ya regional office. Ano jiga na mo ba re ka roma manga ba sa tseba ba felletja ba re ya kwa factory kwa ba bereki ba strikeile o ye o solve bothata bole. Apo o tsa sa hore papara ba re kwena o hedange labor desk ya EFF ka uno jiga na. You can't write yourself off. Wano pela ole a complainant. In 1994, how old was I? 1994 I'm now 43. I was 13 in 1994. I was part of the people who were offloading a code 14 truck full of posters of the ANC. At 13 in town, not in the township. And no one said today the truck is coming. I just took a lift from the township and went to the ANC offices and I was loitering around there. There is going to be a code 14 truck full of ANC posters. Before I knew it, I was offloading. Before I knew it, I was part of the ANC poster team. And the rest is history. I was there at Chris Annis Memorial Service in Polokwane. And that's why I know that buses can lift people, because I was left by a bus during Christianis memorial service. Then we had to march home. On our way home, police shot at us. So I always, after each rally, want to make sure that there is no one who's left by a bus, because I know how it feels to be left by a bus. All I'm saying to you, fighters, is that just be activist. Be community activist. Be EFF activist. This Ivory Park Community Center cannot have a door that is not working. And Mama Dineo doesn't know how to fix a door. And no jiga. Door to door, but you never came to this center. Le know which your le tsuile byang. Bara utswa re tsuile le batishile le are magaj. Le na la bofa le batilela la community center. You don't have to come and give them money. Just you coming here until le na le boja. Today so many kids came, we couldn't feed them. You can't do anything. But the fact that you landed here and here, what's about Romungwe, Wabaetapele Barna Ukui, Bana Asiba Jikamuka today, because there was no sufficient food. You can't say there is a community center and then you don't visit it randomly, unprovoked. Uno tautoba tusha wapi ya ukukadi picha udiaingi, lend a helping hand, because lina anaore utusha community center ko reka pentera wario nago jagai chelete ya reka pent. Sometimes it's you being there. Ogre mamadi ne wa first speech abolela ka lena spetlelo rai bontate spetlele ba re etela ka mori a tseba re rena le mathata re a ba boja. We lisana mo a re a ba boja ba solve honor a re na le mathata re a ba boja a songo solve silo. That's why ba sa re ba solve ba re na le mathata re a ba boja. That on its own is an achievement, that a leader was told about the problems of this community center. So Realebua Community Center eke Ivory Park Community Center. Asia EFF. Kia community kamoka. Lo sasa go kata any political party kamo yari incha letsoho is more than welcome. Because once you say community, it means all different religions and political parties are welcomed here. So community ya Ivory Park in Aleba Tukamo. So na agatli shagi Ivory Park Community Center. Kitishagi di fight ajedi winning the ward committee. Abas no win at ward committee barba betwa. Abarba defender. Mapodi sadi tsuya a Ivory Park uya chocho. Ba tswara di fighter jebe di defend. So when I was sitting in Marangaka, I could celebrate my birthday. Carno, let me go to Ivory Park. Maraska celebrate my EFF fan. Re celebrate le bonkgono le bana ba ba itsokolelang. Mara, our coming was to say to the ANC and Ivory Park police that these children you are harassing are not orphans. They've got their own parents and their own leaders in the EFF. Leskana nor lekaba bolaya la fecha kabona without any form of protection from the above. So I'm here to say to you, I never celebrate with cowards. I came to celebrate with the brave ones that are found in Ivory Park. And they are fighting for the people of Ivory Park and fighting for the community of Ivory Park and fighting for the EFF to lead Ivory Park, Johannesburg, and Gauteng. So I'm here to say to you, never feel discouraged and feel like you are alone. All the struggles you are going through, we know them, we hear about them, and we are supporting you. For you to be leaders tomorrow, you have to go through what you are going through today. We are sharpening you to become the best of the best. So Agirikirian Community Center, Bunkonu Lebana, Gaspetela Chusa or no, Retlata, more Ivory Park Community Center. What a good decision. Because especially Moeta Pili, Utivas Chabasai, or Harinyaka or Yamorinyaka, white farmers Redikreakai. Harinyaka, the community centers Redikreakai. So Ritlemo, Ritlisha, Kespetle. Yalo Aginchimo, Onalemono Mwamo, Utlemon Narunyaka donata, Ntong Weson. Yalo Nagina go Bola Legisadi Mbuiseni are Naki announce Garak, and Gassi announce a key Quilla and New York. Bargeles Lunkuna. Oh, Namo. Okay. Let's okay. Ita. Taba Bojoro. Mama Dineo Umale Faso Corbari. Batlo Donata, Injicolor Bana, Rebabu Yalinyaka Badisha, the Wumweke, and Elia Palacasela Lisila. So let's outlaw Faditaba, Shitiwe, before Naki feature. Tobe.
Thank you very much, CIC. Lina, maybe let me take an opportunity to say happy birthday, CIC, happy birthday. I'm not a politician, Mina, Mara. Where I come from, I've been associated with this organization before it was born. When this thing was born, I was part of it. When the name of EFF was given, I was there. I had a twin brother who was very passionate about EFF, who unfortunately died a year and a half ago, 1 year, 4 months ago. And then when he died, I said, Mina, I'll still be associated to this organization no matter what. I've been attending all national events that EFF as an invited guest, also as a normal ground force. When I'm not sitting where the elite sit, I sit with the ordinary ground force. So today coming here, it's easy. I'm here to say, Mama, the leadership of the organization, we do school furniture at the highest level. They can identify anything that they want from our company to the value of 300,000. It will be donated here. It will be donated here, and after it's donated, we'll also call the leadership to come and say, to assess. Because normally people, they promise and then there's no follow-up. The leadership will come and assess what we've promised is indeed delivered. And donating desk or whatever, because I heard her talking about school furniture, about the homeworks and everything. I'm investing in the future because I grew up like this. I grew up in the villages, poorest of the poorest, studied under the tree, writing with my finger. So we are investing in the right thing. So education is the only thing, the shortest way that can change the life of our people. So furniture is coming and whatever to the value of 300,000. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Les is the son of Dr. Nkuna. Dr. Nkuna owns a mall there in Soweto. Barging. Not Maponya Mall. Jabulani Mall. So Nkuna's father and Maponya Mall are at the same level. So their company is called Masingita. And I suspect they've got shares in Kaizer Chiefs. that they can confirm. Why it's performing the way it is performing, I don't know. It's their own problems. To clarify, you all know the best team in South Africa is Orlando Pirates. Mamdineo Bahari, furniture, yele, nyakang, yadikolu, anything that has got to do with school furniture to the value of 300,000. But and as our last gift to the school, to the center ourselves, Banabaka Mukaba, Litoba Diela list Yabona, size cha dieta, size cha uniform, Reba Fedieta, uniform, Kamkanabo. Because EFF, I believe our uniform must be free of charge. The case Reba Naba pare uniform, Marabasive uniformed. Uniform means uniformity. We must all look the same. But others look much better than others because the other families can't afford uniform. So people normally buy school shoes, but they don't buy uniform. You can buy me shoes. If I don't have proper pants and shirts, those shoes will not serve any purpose. The giving of uniform is to build confidence. One man once took me to a shop and bought me shoes for a value of 1,000 rand. I never wanted to take off those shoes because they were so beautiful, and I never thought one day I can own a pair of shoes to that value. And from that day I knew, but these things are possible. If I can grow up thinking I can never own a good pair of shoes, to wake up one day and own a pair of shoes, it means these things are possible. By touching an ordinary life, you might think you are doing a small thing, only to realize in the future that you have played a significant role. And I'm happy because the man who bought me shoes is still alive. He's a councillor of the EFF in Polokwane called Freddy Ramapagel. So I always celebrate him because he's still alive. I don't speak good about him because he's dead, and that maybe one day he will speak bad about me or criticize me. Even if he does that, he bought me shoes. It's true, it's a reality. And when people do good, we must celebrate them. So we don't know, of these 100 kids or more, we may touch the lives of one or two. Then we will buy a grocery to the value of 10,000 rand for the rest of the year. Every month we'll bring a grocery to augment what you have, so that uskaba lungwana wabuela mrao asiaji. Batsibe bana ba hore ba itlammo ba closure, because this center serves the people. The last one will leave an amount of 100,000 cash. Yele na leta iberekisham for anything. Ka re tshedi ngwa pa di thaluse wa tswa no kra dinyaka chelete man. Ya le toele ntwa no donate mapaile. Sometimes le re fele cash. Una le tshedi ngwa di thaluse dinyaka mabata. Wa bona re ape a le so nyaka o tshela petrol a tsene ya dieng wa bona. Yalo o mo file mapai o tshela petrol ka mapai. So a le tisha mapai le tisha it's a mile cash. What's about no grow wage so we na le funeral ga le nyaka thusho bo dalimpo vano fita bare I condolences you'll tell us what you need. Tell you what I need. Lukisha monaginya wa umpocha lwetu. Abe we've got pride. We might be poor man arna le pride re batho. Ngambere kwere sokola we na lo rinyache ke batho. That's why kasrina we na le buka. There used to be a book. Bo sa re buledi ishuno fita wa ngwala mola wa bia di parcela. a tlo re botsisa gore le nyaka e re nyaka eng ko reng re fe tšhelete mona re na le mathata o tla bona re na le mabakanyana re nyako a phetha jalo mama Dineo e tla tsena 100 ka Mantaga le phetha ntšhe kua le kua mabaka a le nyako ngo a thiba re re go lena le ska nyama le ska balalapa o berekela setšhaba o tsamaya o bolelwa pleke ka moka wa kwani ya re to 500,000 ro regere grocery ya 10,000 o sa sabata ba re wena o ya dijo tše le bana ba hao a di setšhabeng ke ditse ya di tsamaya di bolela di fantisha leme le motse o ka moka ge e le gore wena o je dijo tšeue le tšhelete a se e utswe o tsebe gore tše di bolelwang ka moka mo ke dimpša di gobola koloi ya o sepela a di ke di gobola koloi ya o ema awa the dogs bark at a moving car ya o ema ba e rotela ba e tlhamela dimpša di a e tlhamela mara o ka kwa ba re šuo o ya tšhelete tša bana o ya tšhelete tša bakgekole di ska ba tša o tsena pelong di ska ba tša le tshwenya lena berekelang setšhaba se rena re rogilwe mao rena ra bitswa ka mathapa ka moka wa ruguwa le bomma rena le bokokwa rena a sanka ra nyama moko ka gore re tsebile gore we have an appointment with the future ge o tseba mo o yang a o tsamaye o theeletša menyenyetsi ka mo le ka mo o lebelela pele mo o yang gona jalo le ska wa le babereki ka moka di volunteer tše di thušang mo every day a letla a le tsena mo la monyakong le apara smile le ska re thuša ka di straight face la re fella pelo wa kry o ka re ile kwa dipetele tša ANC tša gore o tsena nnese e gore o nyakang o ka ba re wa tshwenya so ga o tsena ka mo ka gore o thuša batho ba ba naganang gore a gona motho a ba ratang ke ditšhiwana ke di reject a di nyakiwe a o tsena mo o di fe smile ge o ka kry o ka re o mongwe o fase moya ngwana mo tšee o mo fe hug o na le nto ba re ke hug lena le nagana gore ke ya makgowa nto ela ke nto e fiwang batho ba ba ratiwang fela o no mo topa wa nore o jwa ngwana ka wa bona moya o e fase wa re ta mphe hug o kwe a o mo fa hug a hemela godimana o e kwa gore o feel impressed le ka kwa ye mosadi a elwa o ska fofa a wa mosadi isukile no re baby let me give you a hug o bone e fela mata o e fa hug ya ke hug ke mmere kwa hug o ba hug o tsamaya o ba hug bana ba o se rate ke motho ba hugeng le ba serve ka smile and le ska tisha dintwa ka mo la re le di volunteer la causa disunity ka mo community center ka mo re tlotšwetša pele kgopolo ya mama Julia a re atela wena re tetše kgopolo ya mokgekolo ge e le gore ya o imela a se re o bitše o voluntarile wela morago o re lese re tšwele pele ka kgopolo ya mokgekolo e se wena o tlo ba mphethi ya go re destroy the legacy ya mama Julia ka moka ba re be mo re leboga matsogo a lena re leboga botho ba lena a gona motho wa o rata bana ba maAfrika lefase ka moka ge motho a rata bana ba maAfrika o swantse re appreciate-iwe a celebrate-iwe. Today, as I celebrate my birthday, I also celebrate you for loving African children and loving the elderly, because motho wa o rata bagekolo kwa o rata kukwaka koro o rata mogekolo, you display the love I had for my grandmother. And when you love the poor children, You display the love others had for me. That's why I'm here. Thank you very much.